really freaking snowing right now. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to Task Force Off-Road. It's George. You know who I am at this point. If you don't, watch some of the other videos. You'll figure it out. I'm kind of a weirdo sometimes. But hey, there we go. And we're starting up. So first and foremost, you guys might be curious why I'm not in the Jeep. Well, I'm being a nice person today. I told my mother I'd fill her tank because I borrowed her car the other day and I used probably about a quarter tank of it. So I was like, let me just top you off and we'll get that all squared away. But so the reason I'm making this video is because Jeep recently announced the day finally, well, sort of day, more like the year-ish, but they're finally talking about their plug-in hybrid Wrangler, and I have a bunch of errands and stuff to do today. I am going to be working in the garage a bit too, but I wanted to take a minute and talk to you guys about like my thoughts on this plug-in hybrid Wrangler, and I figured what better time to do it than while I'm like, you know, going out and about and doing shit today. So that's the topic for today's video. Okay, it's cold, so while that fills up. All right, so first thoughts and impressions of this thing. I'm kind of excited. I know a lot of people think it's sacrilegious, but this is how like technology and everything moves forward. So here's my huge caveats to the electric Wrangler, and that is that it has to retain its solid axles and its body on frame. Because it's not a Wrangler if it doesn't at that point, because Jeep has so long, this is the only SUV that still has solid axles and a body on frame. You're the only one. No other SUV has body on frame or solid axles anymore. Everything has gone to independent suspension and usually all-wheel drive systems. So the Wrangler has retained the only SUV. We might see the Bronco as one, but as of right now, the Wrangler is the only SUV with that. So we have to retain that for me to think it's still a Wrangler with this whole plug-in hybrid thing going on right now. So along with the whole all-wheel drive versus four-wheel drive thing and the body on frame, so the next thing I'm kind of concerned about is the way they deliver the power plant on this new electric Jeep, because we know there's going to be an electric motor. We know that. And TFL Car did a really good video on discussing like how the current possibilities that they could do this is. But I just wanted to touch on it real fast. And the two possibilities they were talking about, or the two most plausible, is one is converting the Wrangler to an all-wheel drive vehicle and then having independent suspension and pretty much having a gas-powered motor powering probably the rear and an electric motor powering the front and doing it that way. I really hope they don't do this. What is probably more likely that I really hope they do that they were discussing is having their power plant up front, their gas engine, whatever power plant they choose to put in there. I'm assuming it's going to be something along the lines of a 4-cylinder, so we might see the 2.4 liter turbo. I think it's a 2.4 liter. Anyways, the 4-cylinder turbo engine they use in the Jeep Wrangler, and putting an electric motor somewhere in between that and the transmission, or somewhere in the transmission, to accommodate still being able to have 4-wheel drive, still having the gas motor, and then having that electric motor as well. Yeah, so I'm off to get shoes because these things I need new shoes. They're beat up. It's bad. We talked about power plant. We talked about body on frame. Now I want to discuss, this is a big one too, and this is the possibilities of it. So like, we're Jeepers. We want to jack it up, we want to put some big tires on it, and it gets really, really fuel inefficient really fast. And obviously, you know, if we can do some more mods that kind of help that out, but so be it, because we love driving our Jeeps, and they're daily drivers for the most part, which is perfectly fine. So here's the thing, you get on stock, you can probably assume, since it's a hybrid, it's a plug-in hybrid, you're probably getting 20 to 30 miles on the charge. That's with being a Jeep in a box, that's probably being very optimistic there. But either way, you're getting some free mileage off electricity. Not free, but you get my point. So that's freaking cool alone there. Now here's the huge opportunity, overlanding. So you're probably thinking, why are you talking about overlanding? Well, overlanders already carry all of this gear, and they usually have generator setups with solar panels and other things. Well, what if you get the solar panel to charge the vehicle? You kind of see where I'm going with this here. Like, this opens an entire new world for renewable energy for your Jeep and being able to stay out on the trail even longer, or being able to stay out overlanding in a campsite even longer and not having to worry about fuel as much because you can just stop, charge your electric motor, charge your batteries, and get moving again. Like, it's wicked cool. Not to mention the trail capabilities of having all of that torque at your power of the electric motor. That can mean huge gains for the low range power. As long as you can handle that torque and moderate it properly, it's a win-win, guys. Like, you have some crazy capability out of it. And I'm getting a phone call. Alright guys, let me know what you think of this new electric Jeep. And you know what, while we're at it, let's have a conversation about the diesel one that's coming out too. Because I think this is going to be a really interesting market for the Wrangler with the diesel and the electric and everything. And another thing about the electric, they're doing this cool thing. It's they're calling it 4xe. So 4x4, 4xe. It's a play on words, it's a marketing scheme, but I think it could be interesting. I'm really excited to see what you guys have to say about this, so leave it down in the comment section below. I'll see you in the next one. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Hey, the more people that like this, the more you see the video. I really appreciate that stuff, guys, but I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.
But it's too late now. I remember you and me, and how careless we could be.
All day and all night, we'd stay up, it felt so right.